morning everybody, it's Rebecca Gabriel here for another daily card reading. It's Sunday the 15th of November and I hope you are well today. This is my second take for this reading. Of course, the disadvantages of doing recording outside is all of the background noises, and partway through my last reading I noticed that there was a very heavy noise from a motorboat that went past that I wasn't even aware of. So I didn't want to kill your eardrums. Anyway, today's reading is from the Buddhism deck from Sofan Chan, which is this one here. And the card that I pulled is the Letting Go card, which is a really beautiful message, especially for what everyone is going through at the moment, or part of that transformation process. You're going to get sick of me saying that. Anyway, beautiful picture here, very peaceful. So the letting go message, look, it is something that's probably easy to say and not so easy to do. How many times have we heard, oh, just let it go? But in truth, you know, the human condition really does find it hard to let things go. I'm just going to read the card. There's a beautiful quote here saying, some of us think holding on makes us strong, but sometimes it is letting go. And that's a quote from Hermann Hesse. And how many of us do try to hold on, meaning we put on a brave face. We say, no, I've got it together, I've got this sorted, I'm all good. You know, a friend of ours or family member may ring up and say, hi, how you going? Just wanted to check in on you. Oh, I'm fine, everything's okay. Really? Is it really? And it's not until we have a bad day that we may find that we spark and we're a little bit more hot-tempered, or we may burst into tears and we realise we have been holding on instead of letting go of something that's probably been stressing us underneath. So, you know, letting go is often the things that are sitting beneath the surface that we're not necessarily consciously aware of in our day-to-day activities. You know, we all tend to function relatively well. We get on with things, we allow distractions to get in the way, and we do our do. But there's often underlying things in our unconscious that are emotionally affect us and mentally clogging us up, causing a lot of stress. And it's usually at the end of the day when we go to bed when we tend to replay those stories, things that have happened in the past. And they could be things from our childhood that are still lingering there, that are unresolved, or it could have been something that's happened in the past few weeks or months or even the last few years. And whatever it is, maybe today is your opportunity to ask yourself, is there something lingering there that is constantly replaying for you, giving you that anxiety in the tummy, keeping you awake at night time? Or is it something that just tends to be triggered when someone pokes you, you know what I mean, and we just go blah. It's those things that are causing us harm and causing toxicity in our mind and in our body and of course in our soul, and keeping us trapped. That's where we're not being spiritually free. So today's card is an opportunity to look at that. And this is what having the soul lessons and growing spiritually is all about, is doing the inner work, being prepared to confront those things that are holding us back from being our best self. So on the card here it says, letting go simply means allowing things to be as they are without constantly struggling to control or resist an outcome, or continually reminding yourself of an unhappy past event or a negative emotion. So it is the practice of letting go of the energy of that, the memory, the mental story, the emotions that come with it. When we replay a story, what happens is that we tend to take ourselves back to that event and feel all the emotions all over again. And so unfortunately what happens is that we mentally experiencing it and we are emotionally experiencing it. So our body is responding to that. That's what causes us to have illness over a period of time, or stomach ulcers, or other underlying conditions that are a result of us hanging on to that negative energy. So what to do? Well, the purpose of all of this is to be able to to heal from it and to bring our focus back to the present moment. So when we notice that we are repeating something, or something is weighing heavily on us, what we can do right in the instant is to bring our attention back to now and go, okay, being in the present moment, what do I notice right now, right this very moment that I can feel really happy about, that I can observe, that I can be grateful for. So for me, I love sitting outside. So right now in this present moment, I'm noticing the sun on my shoulder. It feels really warm and I love it. I am noticing the blue sky around me. There's a lot of people and activities around me as well. I'm enjoying the noises, the fresh air, and I'm enjoying being here with you. So this is what I consider to be in the present moment, appreciating what I can feel, smell, breathe, notice, and feel grateful for. So while I'm doing that, my mind can't be elsewhere. My energy is here. So that's something that we can do straight away when we know that we're going back to a story. And certainly avoid talking about things in the past. Let's understand right now that past events are done. We cannot undo them. And every time you go back to rethink or re-experience it emotionally, you're creating more of that toxic energy and you're not letting it go. Whatever's happened, it's so important to let the judgment of that go. You can't go back to change what has happened in the past, but you can heal from it. Another good strategy is to be the observer. So when you know that you, for instance, if you're lying in bed and you're rethinking something, an unpleasant experience, as you do, instead of being in that experience as you replay it, step back and be the observer and watch the scene so that you're not actually in that scene. You may have a visual in your mind as to what's going on, but you're not emotionally being engaged in that scene. So you can watch and observe and then take the lessons from that. Well, what could I have said differently? What could I have done differently? Don't make it about the other person. This is your experience and your healing, and you want to let this go for your benefit. So observe, take the lessons from it, and you go, okay, I understand what that lesson is now. I'm going to let that go. And use that lesson in your life going forward. The reason why we want to practice this, and this is a little bit like practicing the muscle, developing the muscle. We need to give ourselves time to do it. We need to practice, so every time it happens, we just get better at letting it go. And we want to feel free. This is why we're doing it. We want to be free of that anxiety. We want our mind to be uncluttered. We want our heart to relax, our stomach to relax. So another thing, another technique we can do is to use deep breathing, and this is incredibly healthy for you, for your mind, body and your soul. So when you are feeling stressed and you're anxious about that memory, just take a moment to center yourself. Notice how you're feeling right now. Notice what's around you that you feel grateful for. Close your eyes if you need to. And take in a really slow, deep breath through your nose for 3, 4, 5 counts. And let it go for the same amount of counts. And do that for about 3 or 4 times. And you'll notice that your body will calm down and your mind will calm down. Do that for as long as you need, as many times as you need to during the day, especially when those memories or you keep looping back when that situation happens for you. And eventually you'll be able to free yourself of that if you practice those 3 strategies. So let's use that as a takeaway for today's message. Something that's been weighing heavily on your mind recently. Today, take some practice in being an observer. Notice what are the soul lessons. Do some breathing, come back to the present moment, and do your best to let that go. Letting go truly is a conscious choice. Have compassion and no judgment around it, please. Okay, whatever's happened has happened. Let's not judge ourselves. We're here on this earth to learn. What's important is how you go forward, and that you are looking after yourself and loving yourself enough to want to make a change and not to keep repeating that experience in here, and let's not talk about it to everyone else so that we're reliving it. Okay, for those unhealthy things in our life, let's learn from them and let's let them go. Beautiful. Well, I think we're going to leave it at that for today's message, and hopefully we haven't had too many external noises that have come down the headphones. So letting go. I'm going to post this on my YouTube channel, Living with Spice, with the picture and the text as well on my Instagram and my Facebook page, Living with Spice. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And one more thing, as I always mention, please reach out to me if you'd like to have a personal reading. I love doing them, and it does kind of help you get clarity around your personal situation. Most of the time I do an hour's reading for you, and of course if anything comes from that and you'd like to go a little bit more deeply into something that's in your life you'd like to change and transform, I'm of course a qualified soul coach, and we can look at providing you some coaching around that as well, so you can truly break away from those things that have been holding you back and get some serious transformation happening in your life. All right, lots of love to you all, and I shall see you tomorrow. Bye now.